Thank you for joining us for today's webcast featuring a CIO's perspective on their SAP S/4HANA proof of concept on Azure to an all-in migration. Please feel free to add any questions for our speakers in the chat, and they'll get to as many as possible at the end of the event.
My name is Benoit James. I run the application portfolio here at Protera Technologies. With me, I'm joined by Rick Klotz. Rick, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Thanks, Benoit. Rick Klotz, CIO for Altra Motion.
Thank you. Also joined on the webinar today is Prakash from Microsoft. Prakash?
I'm Prakash. I'm a Principal Program Manager for SAP on Azure Core Engineering team.
Thank you, Prakash. So let's get started. Rick, tell us a little bit about Altra Motion and your role specifically at the company.
Okay. Altra Motion is a industrial manufacturing company. In the SAP world, I guess we're known as a IM&C, Industrial Machinery and Components company. I've been the CIO since 2009, and we're a global company, a NASDAQ listed company, approaching 2 billion in sales. We've been deploying SAP since late 2009. So we've been at this for a while.
Excellent. Excellent. What kind of SAP environments are you currently running at Altra?
So today we run Suite on HANA, or SAP ECC ERP, as well as SAP CRM 7, sort of the on-premise version of SAP's CRM. Mm-hmm. And all the modules and planning functions. We don't do sophisticated APO kind of planning, but more the kind of the standard AP, AR, general ledger, sales order processing, ATP calculations, all those things that typical manufacturing company would use with SAP, and nice integration between ERP and CRM so that we do get a holistic view of the customer from kind of from prospect through actual business partner, where we we ship some of our great products.
So Rick, as you undertook the PoC of S/4HANA on Azure, what was the business driver for your decision to evaluate a potential transformation to S4?
So a couple of things, Benoit. The first was we wanted to actually see S/4HANA for real. We had seen demonstrations, we'd seen presentations, but we hadn't really seen a full instance of S4 and have a chance to really interact with it. So we made a strategic decision to stand up an S4HANA instance with US best practices, and we actually executed a 12-week workshop / proof of concept with one of our forward business units, one that wasn't yet on SAP, and said, if we gave you this and you had the best practices, could you run your business? Could you cover these core processes with S4? Right. And I think it gave our experienced SAP people that were used to ECC 6 a chance to see the future, as well as get some feedback from the business people. And we had some people participate in that workshop that were from live sites. So it was interesting to have that audience be able to see S4. We did that with about 2.5 weeks notice before the workshop. Yeah. So quick to deploy, quick to configure, quick to have it ready. I like to joke about turning the knob and, okay, I need more, give me some more. All right, now I'm done, turn it all the way back down. We were able to snooze the instance at the end. We gathered all that experience, and if we needed to, we could still bring back that S4 workshop sandbox instance, even now 4 or 5 years later, to take a look at it again. So it was primarily to get the look at it and kind of test the idea of, could we run our business on S4?
Excellent, excellent. A lot of the automation and capabilities and enablement of that transformation journey was enabled due to Protera Arion. Just a quick note on Protera Arion. It is Protera's next generation transformation and management system. On the transformation side, it can take your source environment and map and design your target architecture in Microsoft Azure using the toolset. It does system and cost modeling of the target landscape, and it allows you to do what-if scenarios with differences in migration approaches and architecture decisions. Ultimately, it creates an automated migration schedule that allows you to do the migrations repeatable, scalable, and error-free. Once you're in Azure, it then allows you and gives you great observability and operational security and governance through the platform. So, Prakash, I want to turn it over to you for a quick second to talk about what Azure offers customers like Altra Motion with the latest developments on the SAP front and on Azure itself.
Sure, thanks, Binoy. Azure is preferred and trusted by our customers such as Altra Motion, and most of the Fortune 500 companies run SAP on Azure today. Microsoft Cloud is purpose-built, reliable platform to run SAP business critical application on cloud. In addition, the strong partnership Microsoft and SAP as two companies have. Microsoft is the only hyperscaler who runs our own business processes on SAP for over 25 years. And we have been running it in our own cloud for the last 3-4 years. From the SAP core engineering team for Azure, we've launched a lot of first-party offerings and cloud-native solutions for our customers to help them through their cloud migration journey. For example, we recently announced ACSS, which stands for Azure Center for SAP Solutions, which is a one-stop shop for deploying and operating SAP on Azure. We also have a monitoring solution called AMS, Azure Monitor for SAP. We have also released open source SAP deployment automation framework, which is available for free for our customers and partners to deploy SAP on Azure. And this is fully customizable and modular. We also have a backup solution. We have recently launched SAP Private Link Service, which reduces the complexity of connectivity between Microsoft services and SAP BTP. We also have recently announced GA of our security offering called Sentinel, which is the same tool which continuously monitors and detects threats. You can correlate monitoring events across various sources of your enterprise and maybe even build your own detection rules as well. So we're working very closely with SAP, as I said before, about our partnerships. This recently launched HANA Public Cloud 2208 edition has Microsoft Teams integration inbuilt as well. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming out one after the other, Vinay.
Excellent, excellent, Prakash. A lot of exciting stuff. I would also be remiss if I did not mention the relationship between Protera and Microsoft. We have a strong engineering collaboration effort underway with a lot of the newer products. We're working very closely with executive sponsors from both organizations. Prakash, can you speak a little bit about the relationship with Protera and how we work together to ensure the successes of customers like Altra Motion?
Absolutely. Very strong engineering partnership between the two companies, Protera and Microsoft. Protera has this dedication to take the best of SAP solutions to its customers and partners with SAP engineering team at Microsoft. And they have been involved with us in the development of our various first-party cloud-native solutions together. The recently launched ACSS, which is Azure Center for SAP Solutions, is a great example of a strong collaboration that Protera and Microsoft has. Protera was working with us very closely during the design and the preview process of the offering as we moved to the public preview a couple of months ago. Similarly, with our other offerings such as Azure Monitor as well. So great partnership between the two companies, Vinay.
Excellent. Thank you, Prakash. So coming back to Rick. Rick, after the assessment you conducted on S4, Protera configured a sandbox environment on Azure to explore the functionality of SAP S4 and the impact on your power users, as you mentioned. What was the experience like, and any of the business outcomes that that you took away from that experience? Any lessons that you can share?
Yeah, so I think it's a good example of the partnership again between my team at Altra, the Protera team, as well as the Microsoft team in trying to find a very, let's say, flexible and scalable way for us to try things in the cloud, but with SAP functionality. Standing up the S4 sandbox for the 12-week workshop was a good sort of proof of concept. Is how long would it take to do this? How much would it cost us? And what do we see in terms of the functionality and the features of the software? We quickly turned that experience into the idea of, well, what if we moved SAP to the cloud? What would that take? We continued the experience with Arian and with the partnership between Protera and Microsoft to sort of brainstorm and think about how would we transform this landscape from the previous model, which was in a co-location basis in a data center, and actually not just take the same thing and replicate it in the cloud, but really look at the workload, look at the transactions that are being used in the business, and get a sense of how would it perform if it was in the cloud. And so a lot of that was I'll say very easily achieved because of the flexibility of the cloud, but also the flexibility of our two partners to say, what if we tried this? What if we move this workload? How quickly could we stand up an instance, get our COE team in, check the reliability, integrity of everything we'd configured, and then very quickly move to user acceptance testing and full regression testing. And I think we learned a lot in that the cloud actually performs a little better for us, especially with sites outside of the United States where we were previously hosted. So we did not, go to S4. I think we're still somewhat, being cautious about, are we really ready? But now that we have SAP in the cloud, these additional experiments and ideas around trying S4, we can quickly make a copy of production, put it in another sandbox, upgrade it to S4, get a sense of how long did that take, how many steps, what things broke, and then what's our remediation activity going to look like. And it's going to be easy to iterate on that until we get that cutover cycle, really well documented and understood. So I think we see a lot of opportunity in the cloud for these experiments. I call them experiments because we need to learn and we need to teach our team as part of this transition to S4.
Great, Rick. As more and more customers move to the cloud and undertake this cloud transformation journey, Prakash, would you mind talking about more of the exciting technologies and products that Microsoft is making available to customers like Altra Motion in Microsoft Azure?
Yeah, I'm going to share a screen for this one. Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
Yep, we see it.
Okay. So the true value of a cloud migration journey is realized when customers such as Altra Motion are thinking about business transformation and business innovation, where a lot of Microsoft technologies come together along with SAP solutions, combined with our partner solutions to empower our customers to achieve more. So there are four major categories, as you can see in the slide. So the first category is the faster and intelligent insights, where we bring in SAP and non-SAP data together to unify information across the organization, predict and identify trends, and visualize that to make better decisions. We have released a lot of connectors to get the data from various data sources, and more work is coming out in the space. Expect for some new releases on the connectors. In addition, we also have provided data models to bring the data together, enrich and cleanse the data, then derive insights using Synapse and AI capabilities, and then visualize using Power BI. And maybe develop new applications using Power Apps and be actionable from the insights as well. Microsoft Purview also helps with data governance, and this is clubbed with industry capabilities such as IoT and enhance the value overall using partner solutions and collaborations as well. The second category here is this rapid application development. So what this is even if I'm not an expert developer, how quickly can applications be built together to innovate around SAP system, right? Using our low code, no code approach to put together applications really quickly, right? And empower everyone in the SAP user community to tackle their day-to-day challenges by creating applications that they would use on a daily basis. The third category here is the enhanced productivity and collaboration. So we have solutions to access SAP directly today from Microsoft 365 environment. For example, you can use SAP Analytics Cloud directly from Excel. There are integrations available for Microsoft Viva and SuccessFactors. The major one in this space is Teams integration. So the adoption of Teams have gone up multiples during work from home COVID days, right? So what this has helped us do is develop integrations with Teams and SAP. If you go to the Teams store, there'll be a lot of applications and integrations available today that you can take advantage of. For example, with SAP Sales Cloud, SuccessFactors integrations again are available, and you can bring in chatbot-based experience. So the last one here is the open and frictionless integration between SAP and rest of Azure stack. Customers can quickly integrate and deploy cross-application business processes with industry-leading integration tools. We offer comprehensive, performant, and flexible integration services for SAP. We offer Azure API management, Azure Logic Apps for orchestration, and Azure Service Bus for messaging, and also Azure Event Grid that integrates very well with SAP's Event Mesh. So those are some of the four major categories where our customers are driving business innovation with Microsoft Cloud, along with our partners such as Protera.
Excellent, excellent information. And truly, we're seeing a lot of customers, once they finish the cloud, start to adopt some of these cloud native technologies and really take their intelligence, insights, and kind of real-time information digestion to the next level. So great stuff, Prakash. Rick, just to close off the conversation around your S4 transformation journey and your HANA journey and the cloud transformation journey, can you talk a little bit about the lessons learned and what our audience can take away as they prepare for their own journeys into the cloud?
Sure. I think it's probably important to talk a little bit about Altra's strategy around the cloud. Is we're very much embracing the Microsoft cloud vision. We've been a Microsoft 365 customer for quite some time, and we don't have the opportunity to be experts in 20 different things. We really wanted to try to stay focused and build expertise. So to be aligned with Microsoft in the cloud, both for the productivity suite as well as move SAP to the cloud, opens a lot of additional opportunities for us around, as Prakash said, around data analytics and transforming an existing enterprise data warehouse into the cloud, and now getting some let's say older kinds of ETL type of technologies out of the picture and adapting the Azure Data Factory and Synapse and really heading towards a Power BI based view of all of the data that is either in SAP or comes from other sources. But to the business people, we are able to provide kind of that seamless view of the activity in the business, including the SAP data. We embraced the cloud, I'll say, fairly early in this journey. So moving SAP to the cloud was just kind of a natural next step for us. Getting so much ERP data for 27 plus businesses into the Microsoft cloud is a huge lever for us, which a lot of that I've talked earlier about this kind of this rapid deployment or ease of running experiments. If I need a sandbox for another project where we're going to be implementing SAP, it's almost a finger snap in just a few days. I don't have to wait for long provisioning times. I don't have to spend capital. I just make the request and find a way to make it happen. And again, that's because of the cloud, but it's also because Protera has been such a great partner for us for a number of years. And I think getting that SAP landscape into the Microsoft cloud, then, as I mentioned earlier, this idea that we could run multiple test migrations to go to S4 and see what the impact is and remediate it and then try it again. And then when we do cut over, there'll be minimal impact on our 27 businesses that are live. So that's pretty important. And I think a couple of things, the lessons learned around the move to Azure for SAP, maybe most importantly, was this idea that we don't want to just lift and shift. We don't want to just replicate what we had on a co-location basis and say, well, there's a Windows server and there's another Windows server. And that's just like this instance that was back in the data center, using your tool set, the area tool set, as well as observing the actual sort of activity in the system. You truly created a landscape in Azure that was modernized. It wasn't just take what we have and copy it and move it over here, right? That's pretty important for you to have that insight. And I think your tool, accomplished that for all of us, both for my team and your team, as well as the Microsoft team. Yeah. And I think leveraging the partnership, again, I feel like I keep saying this over and over again, between Protera, Microsoft, and Altra. It's sort of the 1 + 1 + 1 is more than 3, right? A lot of good ideas all around, but when we all got together in the room and talked about what was possible, we came up with 4, maybe even 5 sometimes on what we'll see as we make this transition to the cloud. And I think that's a good predictor of what we'll see when we make the trip to S4.
Thank you all for the insightful comments. Let me go and check if we have any questions on the chat. Yes, we do have a question. We have the question. It says, we are interested in the cloud, but held back by building a business case. Is there an easy way to accomplish the building of the business case for my organization? Rick, may I ask you to start on that one? And then Prakash and myself can close it.
Sure. Yeah, from Altra's perspective, my perspective, I would say that, engage with Protera and use the tool set and really take a closer look at your existing landscape and workload, and let them take a look at what it could be in transformation to the cloud, both from a, let's say, performance modeling, landscape simplification, and a cost basis. That was where we started. So I think that would be good advice to someone who's thinking about that.
Excellent. Prakash?
Yeah, I would say the cloud value proposition has moved away from a low cost or maybe low TCO model into more of a value conversation these days, right? So I would think of this in the lines of business transformation, business innovation, the art of the possible on Azure cloud, especially, right? You can bring in all the Microsoft technologies you're probably already using at the customer, and then configure data insights, bring in AI capabilities, and then unleash innovation. And so the customers gain competitive advantage against their competitors, right? So that's how I would view this.
Thank you, Rick and Prakash, for joining us today with your insights and expertise. Would you mind taking a few seconds to close out for our audience members today?
Sure. Thanks, Thanks, Benoit. I think my takeaways or my final thoughts would be, you really have nothing to lose to give this a try and see how you can move your SAP workloads to the Microsoft Azure cloud and really quantify the benefits of moving to that model and being able to take advantage of the innovation that's there, all around ERP, but also just all around the productivity tools and the data analysis tools and the scalability. And in our case, we continue to grow through acquisition. I need the ability to flex and grow and add users and bring more companies into the family, and being in the cloud makes that very possible for me to know that no matter what turn we take, I'll be able to accommodate that in the cloud.
Thank you, Rick. Prakash?
Sure, Binay. So Microsoft is a proven platform purpose-built for SAP. And then we have some of the largest and widest set of infrastructure to support mission-critical SAP applications. As pointed out by Rick, Microsoft security offerings are unmatched, protecting our customers globally. We invest heavily to enhance our security offerings to help improve our customers' security posture. As we covered earlier, Microsoft Cloud helps our customers to accelerate business transformation and innovation through data, AI, rapid application development, integration, collaboration, and productivity. And finally, Microsoft and SAP's strong partnership that our customers can trust. And this partnership goes back 30 years, right? And we have been running Microsoft's core business processes for decades now. And we continue to bring out innovation for our customers to empower them to achieve more, working along with strong partners such as Protera.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Rick and Prakash, for this wonderful session. I hope this session has demonstrated to our audience how customers can harness the power and the benefits of the cloud post-migration and with the right partners. Visit protera.com/schedule demo to see what your migration and day 2 could look like with a complimentary assessment from Protera and Microsoft. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.